Horror games are scary, but play them with the lights off, that's when nightmare mode begins. If you're brave enough, this is the top 20 horror games must play with lights off. The Devil in Me is one of those horror games that feels perfect for playing with the lights off. You're trapped inside a replica of H.H. Holmes's murder hotel, where walls shift, doors lock behind you, and creepy animatronics wait in the shadows. What starts as a harmless documentary shoot quickly becomes a twisted game of survival. You control 5 different crew members, each with tools like cameras, lockpicks, or sound gear. But nothing comes easy. Every choice, every QTE, even a single mistake can kill a character for good. That constant tension makes every hallway feel like the last safe step you'll take. Sure, some animations look a little stiff and certain parts move slowly, but when you're playing in the dark with headphones, those flaws vanish. The Devil in Me turns silence, creaking floors, and sudden scares into an experience that's built for lights-off horror.
My time is at a premium. We need to do this today.
What the f is this?
Oh my god. Are you shooting any of this? No one is gonna believe it without proof. Wait, no! Not that.
Someone, please!
What happened?
What the?
Go!
What is this?
It's a fucking booby trap.
I've told you what I have. Please don't waste my time.
If you're reading this note, it's probably because we're all dead. What's in this house surpassed anything I had imagined.
The Dark Occult is a horror game built to unsettle you. You arrive at the Atkinson house to investigate strange activity tied to the owner's death, but soon realize you're trapped inside. The mansion shifts, you can't leave, and a demonic woman begins stalking your every move. Exploration is your only tool. You wander through dark rooms, search for occult artifacts, and destroy them to weaken the haunting force. The danger is real. Grotesque creatures appear without warning, and the woman can strike from anywhere. You have to stay alert with every step, turn, or sound. Play this in darkness with headphones, and the Dark Occult turns into a haunting ride. It's not about cheap scares, it's about making you never feel safe. Resident Evil 2 Remake is pure nightmare when you play with the lights off. You step into the Raccoon City Police Department. As Leon or Claire, you're not just fighting zombies, you're fighting the silence, the dark, and the constant dread of what's around the corner. Survival is all about choices. Bullets are limited, herbs run out fast, and zombies don't stay down. Just when you think you can breathe, Mr. X shows up. His heavy footsteps chase you through narrow halls, reminding you there's no real safety here. One mistake, and it's over. The atmosphere sells it. Flickering lights, grotesque enemies, and sound design that keeps you on edge. A puzzle or two may slow things down, but once you're sitting in darkness with headphones on, it doesn't matter. Resident Evil 2 Remake turns every hallway into a lights-off horror experience you won't forget.
Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
I'm not handing over anything!
You don't get away that easily.
The whole place is coming down.
Hand over the sample.
It'll be all over soon.
You don't know what you're up against.
I have a pretty damn good idea.
Claire, get out. Get out now!
Trust me.
OXIDE Room 104 is one of those games that's just terrifying. From the very first moment, Matt wakes up naked and bleeding in a filthy motel bathtub with no memory of how he got there. The Night Soul Motel is rotten, silent, and every single room hides something worse than the last. Twisted creatures prowl the shadows, puzzles lure you into traps, and death never ends it. It just drags you back to that same bathtub, while the motel twists into something darker every time. Play this with the lights off, and the fear bleeds into your room. The screen is the only light, shadows creep at the corners of your vision, and every little sound feels like it's right behind you. By the time the nightmare closes in, OXIDE Room 104 doesn't just scare you. It makes you wish you never turned out the lights.
Get to work. As in any research, if you repeat the same test without changing the variables, you'll most likely get the same results. So, let's make some modifications. Don't worry. You'll only...
Still Wakes the Deep is the kind of horror that only works when you play with the lights off. Set on a North Sea oil rig in 1975, you play as Kaz McCleary, an electrician trapped after the structure begins to collapse. Storms rage outside, communications are dead, and something unnatural is crawling through the rig. There are no guns or easy escapes here. You're sneaking through flooded corridors, hiding from creatures you barely glimpse, and solving problems just to stay alive. The rig itself twists as the disaster worsens. Metal bends, hallways flood, and safe routes vanish in seconds. Some parts are slower, and the linear design limits how much you can explore, but in the dark, with headphones on, the creaking steel, howling wind, and unseen footsteps become unbearable. Still Wakes the Deep turns isolation into its deadliest weapon, making it a must-play in total darkness.
To unravel the mystery behind the cursed song.
What?
I had a terrible nightmare last night. Something was lurking in the house. The strangest thing is that I don't remember waking up.
And face the presence as it reacts to your way of playing. Hunting you in different shapes and forms.
What is this? There's someone there.
The song is playing. And once you listen to it, nothing can save you.
Song of Horror is one of those games that keeps you uneasy the whole time. You're not just following one character, there are several, and if someone dies, they're gone for good. The threat is the Presence, an AI-driven entity that adapts to how you play. It's not scripted. Sometimes it slams a door, sometimes it whispers. Exploring feels tense because you never know when it's going to strike. The fixed camera angles give it that old-school Resident Evil vibe, but they also make you second-guess every corner. Add in puzzles, creepy locations like abandoned houses and mental wards, and the fact that death actually matters, and suddenly every decision feels risky. It's not flawless, pace can slow down, and not every scare lands, but the randomness of the Presence makes it stand out. Play it with headphones, lights off, and you'll catch yourself hesitating to open doors. Song of Horror isn't flashy, but it nails that creeping fear that builds the longer you play. Silent Hill F might be the boldest entry the franchise ever had. A brand new setting, a brand new style of horror, and visuals that hit harder than anything we've seen in the series before. Set in 1960s Japan, you follow Hinako Shimizu through a rural town where grief and folklore twist into something terrifying. Exploration takes you into foggy streets, abandoned schools, and shrines wrapped in rot. Combat feels raw and clumsy, which makes encounters more stressful than empowering. The real hook is the folklore-inspired horror. Flowers blooming into monsters, rituals that feel cursed, and imagery that doesn't leave your head even after you stop playing. It's not without flaws. Pacing dips here and there, and the heavier action might surprise old fans. But when you play in the dark with headphones, the atmosphere takes over. Silent Hill F doesn't just bring the series back, it shows a new side of Silent Hill that feels both strange and unforgettable. Amenti is a horror game that feels like it unlocks nightmare mode when the light's off. You explore the tomb of Pharaoh Rudimon, walking through tight corridors and dark rooms that never feel safe. The deeper you go, the more the place shifts around you, turning what starts as simple exploration into a fight to keep going. Armed with only a camera, you reveal what your eyes can't. Symbols glow through the lens, hidden paths appear, and statues seem to move when you're not watching. The tomb isn't just history, it's alive, twisting with puzzles and secrets that drag you further inside. The atmosphere is relentless. Echoes bounce through chambers, sand shifts under your feet, and silence hits harder than any jump scare. In the dark, with headphones, Amenti makes every step feel like you're not supposed to be there at all. Remothered Tormented Fathers is a survival horror game that brings back the tension of old-school stealth horror. You step into the Felton Mansion as Rosemary Reed, looking into a missing girl and quickly realize this place is more dangerous than it looks. Instead of guns or heavy combat, survival depends on hiding, sneaking, and using distractions. Enemies react to noise, forcing you to think about every move you make. Add in tricky puzzles and unpredictable stalkers, and suddenly every room feels like a trap waiting to spring. But the atmosphere makes up for it. Play with headphones, in the dark, and every whisper or sudden chase will hit harder. Remothered Tormented Fathers is a must-play for anyone who wants classic survival horror with a modern twist.
That all this began.
The child is dreaming at REM phase. With open wings, a moth is ablaze. And when his mother screamed that much, a the unread death bestowed his touch.
Are you looking for me?
This has nothing to do with your daughter.
The Chant starts on a quiet island where a spiritual retreat goes bad fast. Jess, who's already dealing with trauma, gets caught in a ritual that opens a portal to the Gloom, a place that feeds on fear. The monsters here aren't just jump scares, they're twisted shapes born from nightmares. You don't fight with guns either. Instead, you survive with sage, salt, and crystals, which makes every encounter feel different from a typical horror game. What really makes the Chant stand out is how it plays with your senses. When the lights are off, the shadows on screen blend into the room around you. Every sound feels close, like something's actually there. And when Jess loses her grip and panic kicks in, you feel trapped with her. With headphones on and lights out, the Chant isn't just a horror game. It's an experience that sticks with you long after you stop playing.
The neural implants untouched.
Warning. Attempting a necroneural connection is in direct violation of the Postmortem Observation Act of 2061. Authorization denied.
Emergency override. Open maintenance panel.
Warning. Brainwave activity sensor offline. Emergency extraction procedure offline.
This better be worth it.
Observer System Redux is a psychological cyberpunk horror game that flips your mind inside out. You play as Daniel Lazarski, a neural detective in the year 2084, tasked with diving into people's minds using a device called the Dream Eater. Exploration is eerie. You probe abandoned apartments, dark hallways, and glitching memories. Environments warps. Reality blends with hallucinations. You use EM vision to scan electronics, biovision to analyze flesh, and shift through mental spaces that feel like nightmares. The further you hack, the more your own sanity gets tested. It's not perfect. Stealth segments can drag, and some visuals get overwhelming. But in darkness with headphones, Observer System Redux turns into a deeply unsettling experience. The line between what's real and what's broken will blur, and you'll question who's watching whom. Slender, the Arrival Remake is a horror experience that gets under your skin the second you start. You're dropped into dark forests, abandoned houses, and long, empty roads with nothing but a flashlight. The silence is heavy, the shadows move in ways you don't trust, and you always feel watched. There's no way to fight back. All you can do is search for clues, collect notes, and keep your flashlight alive while Slender Man stalks you. He doesn't rush. He waits. He follows. And every time your screen flickers, your chest tightens because he's closer. With the remake rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5, play it with headphones, lights off, and every step through the woods feels like it could be your last. Slender the Arrival Remake isn't just a game. It's a test of how long you can keep your nerve.
Entirely true. There was that whole serial killer thing.
Why do you hate Cedar Hill so much? Used to be like town mascot.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present The Mill.
Spend enough time in my line of work, you realize every place has got its demons.
Think that belongs to the boy you're looking for?
You can't shoot a movie in here. This is a condemned steel mill, Mr. Rivera. I suggest you immediately vacate the premises. And you do not, under any circumstances, set 1 foot back here in the Cedar Still Mill. Ever.
Such a joy to see young people so passionate about the arts. Everything's all right.
The casting of Frank Stone is exactly the kind of horror you need to play with the lights off. It takes you back to 1980, where a group of young filmmakers enter an abandoned steel mill in Cedar Hills to shoot a movie. What starts as a passion project quickly twists into a fight for survival, tied to the town's bloody history. Every choice you make shapes who lives and who doesn't. Exploration mixes with puzzles, stealth, and quick-time events, all while the mill itself feels like a living trap. The more you uncover, the more the story pulls you deeper into secrets you weren't meant to see. In the dark with headphones, the creaks of metal, distorted whispers, and sudden cutscenes hit harder than any jump scare. The casting of Frank Stone feels less like a game and more like starring in a cursed horror movie, one where your decisions decide the ending. Luto is one of those horror games that feels way too real when the lights are off. You're trapped inside your own house, but every door you open pulls you deeper into shifting hallways and rooms that refuse to stay the same. What should be a safe place turns into a maze that wants to break you down. The gameplay is all about atmosphere. You don't fight monsters. You deal with grief, fear, and memories that take shape around you. Walls stretch, corridors loop endlessly, and whispers crawl in your ears like they're right behind you. It's slow, heavy, and designed to get under your skin. With headphones on, the silence is brutal. Luto isn't about jump scares, it's about making you feel trapped.
How can you distinguish between what is real and what isn't? Do you trust what you see? What you hear? What happens when everything starts to feel wrong? To seem fake? Like a trick?
We believed in our mission. We were going to be gods. But we tampered with something we should have left alone. Everyone else is dead. We're all that's left. Whoever finds this, destroy them. Every last one of them.
Alien Rogue Incursion puts you face-to-face with xenomorphs in full VR. You step into Zula Hendricks' shoes, a former Marine sent to investigate a dead facility on planet Perdan. It's quiet, abandoned, until it isn't. Gameplay leans hard on survival. Ammo is scarce, and your motion tracker is the one thing keeping you alive. You'll creep through narrow corridors, hide under consoles, and pray the alien doesn't drop from a ceiling vent. Firearms like the pulse rifle and shotgun feel powerful, but every shot gives away your position. It's not perfect. Some encounters can feel repetitive, and VR motion might throw some players off, but the headset makes every scare more personal. And when you play this one in total darkness, the headset blocks out the world so completely that Alien Rogue Incursion feels less like a game and more like being hunted. Call of Cthulhu is a mix of detective work and classic horror. You play as Edward Pierce, a private investigator sent to Darkwater Island to check out a suspicious family death. At first, it feels like a normal case, but the more you look around, the stranger things get. Locals act odd, clues don't match, and something darker starts to surface. Most of the game is about exploring, questioning people, and piecing together evidence. You'll walk through creaky mansions, search for hidden details, and slowly realize your sanity is slipping the further you go. The less stable your mind, the more reality bends against you. Play it at night with headphones and the game feels way more intense. The atmosphere is heavy, the whispers feel close, and the line between what's real and what isn't keeps you on edge.
What do we recommend in this kind of situation, Marcus? Peanut butter song. Yeah, you're making progress, Marcus. But you must keep studying. Mr. Pierce.
Mr. Pierce, can you hear me?
The Mason! Everything is fine, Mr. Pierce.
Wait,
what the hell am I doing here? It was just a nightmare.
I was there! Mr. Pierce, don't move.
To get back there. You have to rest.
No, but the dreams, they were real!
Only time can heal your affliction.
Is survival horror on a massive scale. This time, the story moves beyond the tunnels, with the Aurora train carrying survivors across Russia's frozen ruins. Each stop along the journey feels different. Swamps, forests, deserts, all filled with danger and almost no safe place to rest. Supplies are scarce, so every bullet and filter counts. Weapons can be customized on the fly, but nothing ever feels enough when mutants rush or bandits set traps. Sometimes sneaking is smarter, sometimes fighting is the only way out, and the choice is always yours. In the dark with headphones, the atmosphere goes to another level. The silence of empty villages, the whistle of wind through wreckage, and the sudden growl of unseen creatures make Metro Exodus one of those games that hits harder when the lights are off.
Don't let go, Artyom!
What is better, I wonder? Life built on a lie? Or death born out of truth?
Artyom, let's jump!
Before midnight, they can do whatever the hell they want.
No. No! I've got to get out of here.
Hey, who the hell's down here?
Hello? Hello? She wants to eat me. There's blood everywhere. I'm up at 1-5 University. I saw a ghost. What the hell happened here?
You are mine. The Bridge Curse 2: The Extrication is a first-person survival horror that thrives on fear and confusion. Set inside Wenhua University at night, the story follows 4 characters trapped on campus, forced to face restless spirits and uncover a dark conspiracy tied to urban legends. Gameplay shifts between perspectives, letting you see how each character struggles to survive. You'll sneak through pitch-black hallways, avoid relentless ghosts, and use items or rituals to hold them off while solving puzzles that reveal more of the mystery. Turn off the lights, put on headphones, and the atmosphere closes in fast. The whispers, flickering shadows, and sudden encounters make The Bridge Curse 2: The Extrication feel less like a game and more like walking through a real haunted campus. Alien Isolation is a survival horror where the tension never really lets up. You're stuck on Sevastopol Station, trying to find answers, but instead you're hunted by a xenomorph that never stops moving. The place feels empty, yet every hallway and vent keeps you on edge. The focus here is on stealth. You hide in lockers, crawl through vents, and use distractions to avoid being caught. The alien doesn't follow a pattern. It reacts to noise and sight, which makes every action risky. Even pulling up your map can be enough to give you away. Play it at night with headphones, and the sound design does the rest. Metal creaks, vents hiss, and footsteps echo until you don't know if it's you or the creature. Alien Isolation is straightforward, but that's why it works. It's about staying alive in a place built to trap you. Visage is a top pick when it comes to psychological horror. The whole game takes place inside a house that feels alive, twisting around you as you explore. Doors lead somewhere new. Rooms change shape, and the longer you stay in the dark, the more the house turns against you. There's no fighting back. Survival is about keeping lights on, managing sanity, and using candles or lighters before the shadows close in. Paranormal events happen at random. Light bulbs burst, whispers creep in, doors slam without warning, so you're never able to fully relax. Play it with the lights off and headphones on, and Visage becomes unforgettable. Every small sound feels like a threat, and the house itself feels like it wants you gone. It's one of those games that proves atmosphere alone can make horror hit harder than monsters ever could.